play Mario Kart when you're on the wrong side of the screen. Who's me?
Yeah, which am I? Which one am I? Am I the dinosaur or am I the guy with the egg? I don't know what I'm doing. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Half a Conversation You Didn't Know You Were Entering Into. It's another episode of Employer Brand Breakdown. And for those wide-eyed among you, you may have noticed some things. We'll get to that. Calm down. Today, we're going to talk about a company that literally bills itself as making every interaction and experience that matters. And my goodness, does that not set the bar pretty high for their career site? I think it does, and it's going to be a lot of fun taking this thing apart. With me today, because I am the luckiest lad alive, and I'm 51 years old, I'm going to call myself a lad. How about that? Is the one and only Tracy Parsons. Now, if you don't know Tracy Parsons, I don't know what you've done wrong. I don't know who you've pissed off in life, but you need to know Tracy. Tracy's the best. Tracy and Tracy, you don't know I'm about to say this. I think the first time I met you when you were on stage, you dropped a slide that I think I've thought about at least once a month since that presentation. And it was something like, if you ask candidates what they want in the recruiting process, what they want is more communication. If you ask recruiters what they want in the candidate process, what they want is more standardization. Gosh, I wonder why recruiting is hard. And I'm like, okay, Tracy's brought the heat. Got it. And that's everything you've been has been just an extension of that moment. So Tracy, thanks so much for being here.
Absolutely. I can't believe for 1 second that I am anybody's Roman Empire.
It's true. Totally true.
That's wild.
Yeah. So just in case anyone, just says, who the heck is this Tracy Parsons? Can you give us a quick 30 seconds of who the heck is Tracy and what you've been doing the last 10 years?
Yeah. I mean, I'm Tracy Parsons. I'm the CEO of Parsons Strategic Consulting. We also go by PSC. I'm also, so I've been doing, recruitment, marketing, employer brand, candidate experience work since the late 1900s, which my son loves to tell people that my mom's been doing this since the late 1900s.
Since the previous century.
Oh, okay. That doesn't feel great.
No.
But like the first banner ad for recruiting on the internet in I think 96, 97.
I don't know that I'd claim that. I don't know if I'd be proud of that one now. It's like the banner ads have become the bane of everyone's existence. But hey, that was a long time ago. But
it was super innovative in 1996. In fact, I had to teach the creative team how to make an animated GIF.
Oh God.
True story. So I've kind of watched and pushed and drove the industry forward the best that I can for the last 25 plus years. And I'm still rabble rousing. I'm still pissed that we're talking about the same shit for the
swear all you want.
For the last 10 years. So when you talk about what we've been doing for the last 10 years, trying to get people past what they've been talking about for the last 10 years.
Totally. So first off, Tracy and I have not discussed what we're about to discuss. This is all live conversation. We knew we were going to talk about Qualtrics, and we went and did our research independently. So today we're going to kind of talk to each other. I have no idea what she's about to say, but the ground rules are very, very simple. We're not here to denigrate. We're not here to point fingers. We're not here to make fun of anybody. We're here to focus on what's working that we can steal and what could be better. How do we make something more useful, enhance it in some way? It's not that anybody's wrong. We're all wrong. We all suck. We're all bad at this. It's just how do we make whatever we're doing a little bit better? That's the game. And Tracy is completely bought into this idea, and I love it. I'm super excited for it. Before we get to it, as a reminder, if you are looking for an employer brand partner, go check out EVP Buyer's Guide. Here, hold on. Let me give you the little ad. I can even click a thing. Is that it? Yeah, oh no, that's the wrong one. There we go. EVP Buyer's Guide. It is completely free, and it turns out that both of our companies are in it. So there you go. Maybe I'm the perfect fit. Maybe Tracy's a perfect fit. Maybe it's somebody else. It's up to you to decide, and that's why we have it. So just check out EVP Buyer's Guide to go download it for free. All right, let's get into it. So I'm going to share some screens. Like I said, we're talking about Qualtrics. It's a pretty cool company. Let's be fair. They've been around for a bit, and hold on, we click buttons. If my memory serves, one of the EBOGs used to work there.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm talking about you, Shonda. We're dropping your name in the OG of building this stuff. So what's been happening since she's left? That's what we're going to talk about. So here, I'm going to kickstart things off with the homepage, not even the career site, because I think what's really interesting is the bigger picture is in general, their employer brand is merging really well and integrating really well with their corporate brand, which I'm always pleased as punch to see. They're starting with
Yes.
this idea of make every interaction an experience that matters, which does set that bar high. Hey, is there any more important experience than candidate experience? I question if it isn't. So let's jump into careers, which unfortunately is all the way at the bottom of the page.
That was
As
a bummer for me, right? That
I
was an
know.
even better if. And I like the way you set it up, James, because my team, my company, we've always collected feedback in one way from our customers and from each other. It's always two questions: what really works for you, and what would be even better if. So it'd be
Yeah,
even better if we had margaritas during our LinkedIn Live today. So that would be an EBI for us, and we call it an EBI, even better if. So
love it.
it would be even better if careers was in the main nav. But okay, go ahead.
Push it up. There's room probably, but hey, I get, I mean, this is a company that does sell things online, so I get the
Right.
challenges. Okay, whatever. I'm going to start with what I love about this, and we saw this in DHL, the way they're using their logo colors just on this banner. They're saying, here's a person front and center, and then using that color mask to say, hey, it's slightly background. I love how they're using that treatment. I think it's very on brand. It allows almost any photo you have to be a branded photo, which, let's be fair, those of you us who have tried to find branded photos sometimes and scraping the bottom of that barrel, this is a great way to kind of manufacture those branded images. And their headline is, we are lowering the world's tolerance for bad experiences. I think they just squeaked the bar a little higher. I think they just went, oh, you thought it was high. It's a little higher now. It's
Hmm.
wow. They're setting something up here.
Well, and what really also really works for me is, to your point, they've taken the brand colors. And if you go back to the homepage, which you don't have to, but you remember that their hero image was these beautiful, vibrant colors and like cartoons and animations, whereas we can't pull that off in the people space. Like,
No.
if you try to pull that off in the people space, it's so disingenuous. So I love that they took that theme and those colors and that color palette and the gradient and put it on their career site, but then they started using people. They're like,
Yeah,
we're not going to lean into this animated avatar bullshit, and we're going to show our people.
exactly.
But what would be so? That's one of my call outs, James, and
Yeah.
I love that you love this hero image. At first, when I first saw it, I was like, I really love that. I thought it was super standout. But one of the things that I was like, it'd be even better if, I don't know what's happening to my brain when I look at this image, but I'm like, why is the person in black and white and the background the pop of color?
Yeah.
Like, are they trying to tell me the environment is the vibrant thing and the people aren't? And I guess I'm thinking really, really hard about it, but that kind of struck me. And the more I saw this use and this treatment of their brand images with the human
Hmm.
in black and white and the background and the environment as the vibrant thing, that kind of struck me as a little odd. So it'd be even better if maybe we reverse that.
I don't know. Actually, I think the way put to your point, I've had the exact same thought. And I think having them black and white, it's not so much of the individual pops. And if you look at the rest of their values,
Yeah.
transparent, all in, one team, scrappy, it does kind of lean towards a no rock star, no diva, no superhero model. We're all
Ooh.
in this together. And this kind of belies that. It kind of suggests that, hey, it's you, it's just you, and you're going to pop. But at the same time, it's really about the bigger picture. But again, I might be splitting hairs here.
No, that's a I didn't think about that. So thank you for calling that out. And it also bleeds into how they talk about themselves, right? How they talk about themselves I found to be really delightfully informal,
Unbelievably good.
right? Like,
Unbelievably good.
how we roll, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That is freaking amazing. Um, I love so much that they're talking about themselves really informally,
Mhm.
and that bleeds into, like, if you look at the images of the people, they're not super formal. Like, they're
No.
not in their best khakis and polos. Like, they're dressed like human beings. And I
Yep.
feel like you can show up as a person, as who you are at this organization, based on how they talk about themselves and how they present their people. So that really created some serious delight for me
Yep.
when I look at the language.
Yeah, and it leads into the taco values. And I swear, the first time I was at like a screen like this, like our taco values. What the holy hell are you? Oh, okay. Is it more cute than I would go with? Yeah. Do I hate it? Nah. It's kind of like, hey, be your thing. Do that thing that you want to do, and it makes a lot of sense. Branded colors, and I love their fonts. Their font treatments are really really
I
strong.
do love their font treatments. And the one thing that I thought about, like, I had not seen tacos
Yeah.
yet. So, like, when I showed up this morning and I was like, first of all, if you want me to endear yourself to me,
Hmm.
you will show up with tacos, right? That is one of the family. Like, if you ever want to
It's
endear
your love
yourself
language.
to anybody in my house, it's freaking tacos, man. And so I thought that that was one of the most memorable um executions of culture that I've
Mhm.
seen in a really long time. And James, I don't know if you remember this, but it might be in that same presentation I was giving. I actually audited the Fortune 500 one time, and they all have 9 core values that are the
Yep.
same.
Yep.
Transparency, teamwork, like all. And we actually in a conference played bullshit bingo, and I asked everybody, like, when they saw bingo in their 9 grid, to raise their hand, and you have now won culture bullshit bingo.
Yep.
This is memorable,
It is. It totally
which
is.
I love,
Yep.
which I love. At the same time, if you're going to tell me your culture, how you show up is this memorable, then each of these letters should have a story attached to it.
Yeah.
Show me from an employee's point of view what all in means.
Yes.
How were you all in? So I wanted to see stories. That was my even better if for tacos, but are you kidding me? Memorable.
And I think telling a story is probably the most common, if not the most powerful way. I'm not sure how I'd phrase that, of saying not only how do we spell this out and give more body and more shape to these TACOs, but what I was looking for, and my challenges is when I'm reading this, I'm like, who doesn't say yes to this? Who doesn't go, ooh, I want this? That's a problem. That's actually a big red flag. It should not
Yeah,
be for everybody. And it's not clear to me who would not be happy at Qualtrics. And I
correct.
think that needs to happen. But I think if you told a story and I read a story, I go, oh, I don't want to tell that story. I don't want to hear that story. That's how you're helping self-select people out. I think that's the
Absolutely.
missing piece part. Is I mean, whether you use a story to do that or any other number of ways to do it, it these are all really nice things, but it can't be tickle puppy, tickle fights and puppy parties. And, it's just too nice and too wonderful all the time. I need something that gives the other side of it.
Well, yeah, because there should be a story about how somebody had to be scrappy.
Yeah. What does
Right?
that mean?
Because
What does it look
scrappy
like?
is not for everyone,
Yeah.
right? For those people who are like, I would like to take this order and do the order,
Yeah.
right? That is not scrappy. How you had to figure out some sort of complex data problem, that is scrappy. So if you're telling me that story, you are going to level up the ability to screen people out, because you're right, James, when I read this, it's all a bunch of hell yeses.
Yeah.
And we all know that an employer brand that is all hell yeses is not correct,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
It is overselling. And if you read my post this week on LinkedIn, we do too much overselling.
Totally.
I did get uncomfortable in all in with ownership. Each of us
It's
owns.
it's a complicated word. It's a little buzzwordy. You see it a lot of places, and it's one of those words where it can be done well. It can mean something, but just saying it is not enough. It's like saying the word, we're strategic. What the hell do you mean by that? When we are ownerships, okay, do we own stock? Can I fire my boss? What are we talking about ownership here? How far can I push that? And that's the value of having a story, because it tells the limit to which this idea is true.
Correct. Right. And again, ownership is problematic to me. Like, it makes me uncomfortable. It's also like when I see, I'm not equating these two terms by any stretch of the imagination, but when I see like we're a family in somebody's
Oh
EVP,
yeah. Oh, red flag.
it is the like red flag, red
Mhm.
flag. Like, this is, first of all, it tells me that you do not have family issues. And if you don't have family issues, you don't know what that means.
Or alternatively, you actually fired your uncle once, and
Correct.
you're fine with that. To which that's a very different red flag, but it's still a red flag.
Yeah. Yeah.
So scrolling down, we hit my favorite word, different. I love that
Uh-huh.
word. It's the most
Yeah.
important word in what we do, and we use it and see it so rarely. And for
Yeah.
me, if I was laying this page out, this section right up to the top. This is the thing. I want to start with what's different, not how we roll. Get to that a bit later because it is so positive, but let's start with what's different.
Yep.
And I love where they were going with this. I had some quibbles with things like this not being a button. What's up with that? It looks like a
Oh yeah,
button.
that is problematic. Yeah.
I don't know what's going on there.
Well, I think it just is like more.
And other stuff, which we forgot to tell you. Like it just feels like okay, I get that you wanted the symmetry of the design. It's very pleasing. Sure. Yes. And you could have done that a bunch of different ways.
Yes.
And the language is good. I mean, I think
the language is good.
If nothing else, aside from the visuals, it's the language that I think is the most impressive here. Their use of language. I feel like having read this one, it doesn't sound like a company wrote this. It sounds like almost as if this was a person and I kind of know who this person is and I kind of like this person. And is there anything better in language in terms of a corporate site like this?
Yes. Like that's the thing. I kept calling out language over and over again. Like I was like, I just love it's not even how they talk about themselves. I like how they're talking about you, the candidate.
Yeah. that is so rare.
Right. And scroll up 1 second because there's one thing that I really, really loved about that section at the very, very tippy top. What we always hear is it's the people.
Yes. Thank you. I love that. Yes.
I was like, thank you. Thank you. Because that is one of the biggest, stupidest, most annoying cop-outs. It's right below, we're a family. It's like, what's great about here? It's the people. Okay, that is the most. It isn't even a scoop of vanilla ice cream because I like vanilla ice cream. It's still ice cream, but it's the people really annoys me. So I love that they called it out. And you're right; it does feel like an actual person that cares about you, the candidate.
Who knows? Who goes? Yeah, we know. We hear that bullshit all the time too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And again, the way they choose to lay this out, the language that they're using explains to me so much more about what it means to work there and what it takes to work there than any kind of tagline bullshit that people engage in.
It has a point of view, and that is so insanely rare. I think so many career sites are assuming that the person who's reading it was born about 4.5 seconds ago. They've never applied for a job before. They've never seen any career site before, and they're explaining how wonderful their company is. And this says, we know you know. We know you're a professional, you're experienced, you get this, and we know this is the things you're going to hear, and these are the things you're going to see other places. Let's be clear about this. And to me, that is so powerful.
Well, if you do me a favor, find in or click into a job, because you're bleeding into one of the things that makes me a little crazy, and they do it, and I'm sad.
Okay, so same visual treatment.
Fabulous, so this is not the job that I landed on.
Okay.
Do
you remember which one it was? I can go find it.
It's, and I don't really, it was something in Australia, so that may not be whatever. But one of the things that, and these are all US, and that's great. Maybe they're all doing the same good. I did find some differentiation. Here we go. Okay. I'm at your career site. I have clicked in from a job board or the Googles or social. I've already heard of you.
Yeah.
Okay. I love that you think, and I'm being sarcastic, that I care about you on this job description more than I care about what's in it for me.
Yeah.
And if and anybody who's listening right now, if this is how your job descriptions read, all about you, then about them, I would encourage you to flip-flop that and A/B test it.
Yeah.
We've tested it. We've tested it with countless customers. When you start with them, you see anywhere between a 3x and 1.5x conversion increase on an actual application. They already know who you are. So to James's point, this site is written like you know what you're doing already. When I get to the job description, many of them threw that out the window. But the one that you saw before this, right?
It was better,
thing, like the inconsistency in job descriptions is interesting. I don't know if it's good or bad.
Where'd it go? Here it is.
It was the first one. Yeah, that one. No, yes, the
it.
challenge.
They're sorting it as I click on it.
Got it.
Yeah.
The challenge.
Yeah, I love the starting with the challenge. And I know, to your point, look, Qualtrics is one of those companies where if you're a certain age, you think they make surveys. And I can see the value of kind of establishing the frame of what this business is about as change has happened, as it evolves to be a category creating. Could you have taken that massive paragraph and cut it down by about 2/3? Yes. Could you have taken that now shorter paragraph and pushed it down about 4 sections? Yes. Is it useful? Yeah. At the top, not so much.
No. And again, I agree with you. I'm not saying it's not useful,
No,
right?
but you're not
I'm
starting.
saying there's a place for it, and the place is not the top.
Exactly. And I do like leading with the challenge. I think that makes a lot of sense. It kind of sets, hey, look, and again, this leads back into we're all in this together. It's not about what you will do. I always joke that, in a lot of ways you could read most job descriptions in kind of like a villain's accent, whether it's, and your villain of choice is up to you, but it's like, you will do this. You will give me
You
the
will.
gold, Mr. Bond. You will have these requirements. You must be an excellent communicator. Like, it's so commanding, but not in a nice way. And this says, hey, look, this is what we're trying to solve. And I'm like, congratulations, we started on the right foot.
Yeah, and you've given me food for thought because again, I've advocated for 20 years that the candidate should be written into the job description. When somebody reads this, they feel like you're talking to them specifically. And so I think we've taken the advice that we've been giving for years, James, of writing them into the job description and just basically copying the word you into the job description and swapping out you for the candidate. That's not what we're saying, right? What we're saying is that tell me what the unique characteristics of this person has, and also what the person who will not fit in here will have.
Yes.
Right.
It's not about good or bad. It's
no.
fit. There's a lid for every pot. So what does this pot look like? So I can decide as the lid, I can say, ooh, that I'm a good fit for that.
Yes. And if I have, like, I always tell people it's like selling a pair of shoes, only you have one pair of shoes.
True. It is a total Cinderella situation. Okay. Yeah. I know you wanted to talk about social, so let's jump over to that side. So I want to make sure to share this tab. So I like, if you click on their follow us, they've got this very new feeling. Hey, it's, you see it on Instagram. Here are all my links, my link tree situation. There's a million ways to do it, right? I like how they did this. This says, we know what you're doing. We know how if you've clicked on this link, chances are you're looking at us via a mobile phone. Let's talk about via mobile. So I like how they did that. So which social channel do you want to look at first?
Well, so if you look at any of their social channels, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, there's something that they're doing that I think we all need to pull into. This is one of the things that really worked for me. The we to you ratio is awesome, right? So they talk about themselves, but they're putting it in their frame, in the candidate's frame, right? So they're using the you to talk about we. So their we to you ratio is really, really good in the captions. So if you look at the caption for one of these Instagrams, you'll see what I mean. So if you click into one of those posts,
it's forcing me to try and log in.
Log in. You can go to Facebook. They have it on the Facebook.
Yeah.
I love when I'm 100 years old.
It's okay. You know what'd be good? You know what'd be better? Just Facebook. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah.
I'm just saying.
Just Facebook, that Facebook.
Yeah.
So if you scroll down a smidge, you'll see the captions are really strong about writing you into it. So build a thriving career driven by the work you do as an account, right? So they talk about you. They don't talk about us. They don't talk about we. They talk about you want to work at a company, not our company, a company. So they don't use a lot of ours. They use a lot of yous, which is awesome. The problem, the even better if all of their graphics are super on brand and all of the data that we have from our customers, because we run a lot of social accounts for a lot of customers, we do a lot of their graphics, is the more graphic produced content is just swipeable. They're going to scroll past it. So if you can put more authentic people into it, which they do on their TikTok, which I'm like, yes, their TikTok is awesome.
Yeah. These graphics are overly branded. They're very much like the people are incidental. They're the texture behind it. And I think that's a missed opportunity because you're right. In social, and this has been true since, I did research 8 years ago on, social channels, like just having a human face
Yeah.
changes the number of people who the conversion rates exponentially, right? It's
Well,
just
and it
make it feel like a real person. And but overlaying all this overly branded stuff washes that out.
Right. Because think about why people are on Facebook. Like, Facebook is for catching up with friends, or Twitter or Instagram. It's about the peeps that you're connected with. And if you follow a brand, you're not connected to them unless you
Mhm.
have a reason to be connected to them. And you have to make a reason to be connected to them by being more candid.
Yeah.
Right? These are your softest leads. People who follow you on your social channels are soft leads. Your opportunity is to convert them into hard leads. So getting their email address, getting them to join your talent community, or getting them to apply is what you're doing. And you do that by making them feel like they're part of you.
Yeah. And even more to the point, no one is going to look at that visual and not say that's a commercial. It
Correct.
just screams commercial. And we already know as soon as someone sees commercials, they found ways of getting gone. No, don't care. So
Yes.
and I know, and I'll leave the underscoring the we're hiring line out. That's my personal bugbear. I don't care. I think there's so many better ways to do it. Let's go.
Yep.
I've talked about it before. No need to get into it. But
Yep.
yes, I think that plus the branded graphic is like, oh, such a missed opportunity. Such a you set the bar so high. This is where you're letting it down. Do you want
Yep.
to jump over to TikTok?
Yeah, I love what they're doing on TikTok.
Okay.
And it's their people, right? So this is that you just got to refresh it.
Yep.
It happened to me earlier today. They have so many videos of them doing things, and it's the people, and they take some of these themes and put them on Instagram, which I totally love, right?
Yep.
So they do a ton of you feel like you're part of that.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna. It's too loud, but yeah. I mean, calling out other companies. I mean, this is so gutsy. I love it. Like this is what you should be concerned about. But what's also nice is that because the software they sell does also support engagement, it's hitting two birds with one stone, and I'm always in favor of that.
Yes. And I just love it. And I love, and what I think when we were talking about the even better if the graphics, like they have tons of content.
Yep.
Spill it over to your other channels, use it. And they're doing some of that on Instagram, which is a chef's kiss for me.
Yeah.
But like this is what I'm talking about when I mean bring the people into your culture, because this is bringing people into your culture.
Yep. Totally. I mean, at this point, it's quibbles. It's even better if here is, okay, this is the head of one of the DEI professionals talking about DEI. I want someone not in the DEI team to talk more about DEI. That always makes sense to me. I feel like that feels less scripted, but more real.
Yes.
And so it's tiny things, but honestly, I'm begging for too much. I mean, I'm full and I'm asking for dessert here. There's so much good stuff in this channel.
Yeah, it's true. And like my overall impression after doing this review of Qualtrics is like they are so consistent. They're telling the same story. They're doing a great job across channels. Like it's very clear that they have an incredibly holistic, forward-leaning approach to employer brand. They're ahead of the curve compared to so many other organizations. Like everything that they're doing is really, and I didn't even get to talk about the fact that they have a blog. Like
Yeah.
their blog is telling stories. So I want to see, I just think that there's more opportunities to connect dots through the experience, because they are just sitting on a gold mine. And again, overall, totally remarkable execution of employer brand and differentiated and truly standing out and helping people understand what it's like to work there.
So it sounds like a well-deserved round of applause for their writers and whoever's driving TikTok.
Yes. Keep
Killer
doing
stuff.
that.
Killer stuff.
If you're the person driving Qualtrics TikTok, please send me a DM. I really want to talk to you. I really want to collaborate on some things that it doesn't cost you anything. There's things that you're doing that everybody needs to know about. And I think that there's some opportunities to really shine a spotlight on how you're telling stories.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay. We went long, but honestly, I don't think there was any slow spots. I don't think there was anything where we're like, oh gosh, that drug, that was what would happen there. You need an intermission. This is a 3-hour long movie. Where's Leonardo DiCaprio when you need him? Tracy, this has been an absolute blast. And this hit everything I wanted to hit. One, I got a chance to look at a brand that was really interesting and did some things I wasn't expecting. I got a chance to kind of talk about what I thought was interesting, but I also got a whole other perspective, because I want to make it clear that there's not one right way to do this. There's absolutely not. Everything you've seen so far in the 18 or 19 episodes of this thing has been just my perspective, but you can see there's all sorts of ways you can make this work. There's all sorts of ways you can do this. So Tracy, thank you so much for being a part of it. Perhaps we can do this again.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I'd love to come back and do it again.
Cool. So for everybody, thanks so much for being here. If you have a brand you'd like us or me, depending on, we'll see how this goes, scheduling determine it, a brand you'd like to get broken down, speak up. You're looking at me on LinkedIn right now. Just click my face or my name or whatever it is and just say, hey, dude, this company would be great. That's all it is. That's all it takes. This company actually was recommended too. So thanks everybody for your recommendations. And we will see you again next Friday, same bat time, same bat channel, to break down more employer brands. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.